Good evening. Welcome to EBTV's production of East Brunswick High School Sports. We're here at J. Doyle Field for the first home football game of the 2003 season. Good evening. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen. We bring you all the action between tonight's game here between the Hawks of J.P. Stevens and your East Brunswick Bears. And Richie, this has got to be kind of an enlightening moment here. You played two games so far, both on the road, and now Marcus Borden's coming in at home against a team that will give him a good game, but he should be able to win.
Yeah, I think it should be a good game. J.P. Stevens was 6-4 last year. They have a great player in Anthony Miller. He's a quarterback going to Rutgers. He's going to be tough to contain, but if East Brunswick can limit their turnovers and, get some time of possession and hold on to the football, I think they'll do all right.
Now, the first game of the season was against a very strong Piscataway team. East Brunswick got down early, but the team showed life in that game.
Yeah, they were down 21-0, and came back to cut it to 21-14. They couldn't finish the job, but that shows the character that this team has.
And then the following week against the Edison Eagles, Edison not as good a team, but you have to take care of business against those weak teams.
True. They got off to a better start in the first half and ended up winning by a couple touchdowns.
Is there any particular players here that are standing out on both sides of the ball here for the Bears?
I think Brian Robinson, the running back, had a big game against Edison, touchdown and about 160 yards rushing. Matt Mariano is doing a great job as a quarterback for the Bears, and also Jovan Jones, another running back, has had a couple touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. So they've been doing an excellent job on the offensive end.
East Brunswick comes into this game 1-1. J.P. Stevens, what's the record?
2-0.
2-0. So a good game here tonight at J. Doyle Field. We'll be right back for the opening kickoff. And good evening. Welcome back to J. Doyle Field for tonight's EBTV broadcast of our first home football game here with the Bears against the Hawks of J.P. Stevens. Again, I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen, bringing you all the action. Waiting for the captains to meet at midfield. Bears 1-1 on this season. J.P. Stevens 2-0. Beautiful night. A little bit of clouds starting to come in. Might be some rain later on.
Yeah, if it stays like this, will be nice. We have number 77, Mike Cassini, coming out for the Bears. Number 76, James Correa. Number 23, Brian Robinson. And number 53, Greg Bryn.
And coming out for J.P. Stevens, number 70, Jeremy Zutta. Number 38, Nico Sharp. Number 3, Anthony Miller. And number 12, Anthony Mafucci. Miller is the quarterback you were mentioning, who has a ticket to Rutgers University next year. And certainly Coach Shiano could use some help there, even though Rutgers off to a good start this season. Could certainly use some talent.
Definitely. I was talking to a couple of the East Brunswick coaches on the way up here, and they said that's one of their main priorities tonight, to try to contain him and limit his, explosiveness.
One injury of note that might have some bearing on tonight's game. Noticed on the sidelines, wearing just the jersey, number 14 for the Bears, Patrick Bean, who is our place kicker, is out for today's game. They were trying out several other kickers prior, or doing the pregame warm-ups. Nobody exactly lighting it up from any distance, so we're going to see what Coach Marcus Borden does on special teams tonight. And J.P. Stevens wins the toss and will receive to start the first half.
Getting back to your point about the kicker for the Bears, one thing I was noticing also in the box score is that Matt Mariano also has done a little place kicking, at least the extra points for the Bears, so maybe they'll be all right in that aspect. I'm not sure if
I did see him warming up, and I was wondering, what are they doing here?
Right.
Till then, I saw Patrick Bean in street clothes. True triple threat talent, Matt Mariano. And the Bears looks like they'll be defending the south end zone, right on your television screen, as the Hawks and J.P. Stevens come out to accept the kickoff.
I think East Brunswick and J.P. Stevens are both expecting to have pretty good years this year. Both teams were 6-4 last year and hoping to improve on that. So this is a big game for both teams. J.P. Stevens 2-0, East Brunswick 1-1. East Brunswick would like to come out here with the win. You don't want to go down 1-2 on the season. Still have some tough games left in the conference here.
And teeing it up for the Bears will be Maximiliano Sanchez, number 7. That's a good name to pronounce. Trip that off the tongue. Back deep for the Hawks, Anthony Miller, number 3. Tamar Robinson, number 1, to hit to the close side.
And might want to keep that ball away from Miller. He had a 95-yard touchdown return off a kickoff last week.
And that's Kyle Trueblood, number 11, down the sideline. Decent return there. Ball looks like it's loose, but no. Referee is saying that the ball is down. Looks like it'll be put in play around the 28, 29-yard line, where the Hawks will take it 1st and 10.
I think this is a big series for East Brunswick, kind of set the tone here and, see if they can get 3 stops and out and maybe get a little confidence going.
You said Anthony Miller is a 6 foot, 170-pound senior. In the backfield, number 11, Kyle Trueblood. We'll get the other numbers in a moment. That might be Nico Sharp. Nope, that's 34, Bart Piedon. That was Miller on the carry. Looks like he stumbled a little bit coming across the line there.
Yeah, it looked like John Park was in there on the tackle. Number 30 for East Brunswick.
How do you defend against a quarterback like this?
Well, I think it's important that you don't try to do too much on defense. You try to stay in your lanes and not over pursue, and just have confidence in your defense that everyone's going to be filling their lanes, and you just want to keep them in front of you and try to contain them, and I think you'll be all right if you do that.
Small loss on the play. It's 2nd down and 11 now for J.P. Stevens. Under center, Miller. Blitz, a little dump pass. Completed to Michael Chupka, coming out of the slot back there. Looks like he picks up about 9. And that'll bring up a 3rd down, well, 10. Give it a 3rd and 1 now for J.P. Stevens. Well, just as we were saying about containing lanes, it looked like East Brunswick sent a blitz there.
Yeah, he kind of got to the outside, and he had the option there of maybe pulling the ball down and running, but he had Chupka there open, so big 3rd down here.
We are in the first quarter of action, the first series of plays here at J. Doyle Field on a beautiful night. Miller under center. And an inside handoff to Piedon.
A couple Bears had a chance at him there. Number 30, John Park finally got him, but I think he might have had the 1st down even if they made that initial hit.
Difficult when you get penetration. And across the front line for East Brunswick, not all that big. You don't have a lot of wide bodies there. You have a couple in the middle. In the sense of persons of Michael Assini, one of the 2 interior defensive linemen. 1st and 10 now, ball's on the 45. A little pitch there to Tamar Robinson. Robinson tries to wriggle out of a couple of tackles, gets maybe 3. Bring up a 2nd down and 7.
One thing to take a look at tonight also, Jeremy Zutta, number 70, the left tackle for J.P. Stevens, was a pick for preseason All-Area for the Home News Tribune. So we'll see how much J.P. Stevens tries to run to that left side and see how East Brunswick can do stopping the run when it goes that side.
Zutta is listed at 6'4", 290 pounds. Miller calling his own number here on the keeper. And a very active John Park, number 30, brings down the very elusive Anthony Miller. Third down and 3. Ball spotted just outside the Bears' 47-yard line. East Brunswick showing 9 men within 3 yards of the ball. Stopped, looks like turned back. Tamar Robinson looked like he had an opening.
Yeah, that was great pursuit by the East Brunswick defense there. One guy got a hold of him, then you saw all green shirts tackle him, and he looks to be about, a long yard or a short of the first down.
You can see now James Correa, 76, comes in. A little more interior fill. I think we're going to see the J.P. Stevens Hawks go for it here on 4th and a long yard. Ball just outside the Bears' 45.
You made a good point, too, Ken, earlier. East Brunswick is definitely loading the players to stop that run.
Miller on a keeper. Looks like he crossed the 45. Now where they mark his forward progress. Left foot, right foot spot deal here.
I'll tell you from here, I'll make a bold prediction. I'll say he's about 2 inches short from where they're marking it. It's tough to see. The chains are on the other side of the field. But
he didn't make it. He did not make it.
With that spot, no way.
That spot.
I don't even know if they need the chains for this one.
Well, on the third down play, Tamar Robinson, when he was tackled, got turned sideways and fell sideways, not falling forward. He would have fallen forward. We wouldn't be having a 4th down play, but
that's an interesting call too. A QB sneak with a guy with that athletic, you kind of take away his athleticism by doing that. But let's see here.
No, they got it. Nope, they held. And East Brunswick will take over on downs. Defense comes up big on a stop of quarterback Anthony Miller. All right, now we bring out the East Brunswick offense led by 5'8", Matt Mariano, a junior.
One thing about this East Brunswick team, they are very young. They only have 8 players on their roster that are seniors, so you can expect a lot of good things also next year here too with this team.
A lot of talent graduated last year. Time for the underclassmen to step up. Mariano on a keeper, rolling out, throwing downfield, wide open, Aaron Horace. Aaron Horace has nothing but daylight and runs it in 56 yards for the touchdown. Surprise, surprise.
I'll tell you what, I love the call by East Brunswick there. First play, you just had a big stop, and you throw the ball and you get Aaron Horace wide open there. Just a great call and great execution by East Brunswick.
And with 7:09 remaining in the first quarter, East Brunswick jumps out to a 6-0 lead, pending the extra point. This will come from Matt Mariano. No, pulled it. Oh, well, maybe as I said, the Achilles heel could be the kicking game. Number 84, Aaron Horace, wide open, 20 yards behind. And those are the kind of plays where you go, oops, it's coming to me. There's nobody else around me. Please catch the ball.
And you know what? I know he's wide open, but still not always the easiest catch there.
Well, you
have to wait for it. You know, sometimes you want to run with the ball before you catch it. So he did a nice job planting his feet, caught the ball, and then scored the touchdown. And I thought for a second Matt Mariano might slip there. When he was rolling out, he planted his right foot, and it looked like it slipped under him a little bit, so he couldn't really lead Horace like he wanted. But great start for East Brunswick. You know, you would like to make that extra point. It could come back and haunt you, but I think that sends a message there to J.P. Stevens.
Well, again, it seems to be the recent East Brunswick history to have that option quarterback take it, slam it off tackle.
Right.
And here just a little wrinkle on it. All right, Maximiliano Sanchez to kick it off. I'm gonna have fun saying that.
Yeah, you better. I'm not saying that tonight. You have to say it every time.
And driven deep to Anthony Miller, who takes it at the 5. Out to the 32-yard line. A little better field position than last time.
Yeah, it looked like number 53, Gregory Byrne, finally pulled him down there.
You're right. He is a dangerous player.
Every time he touches the ball, you gotta be ready for him.
Bears once again back out on defense after that successful stop on their own 44-yard line. One-play drive. That's Miller with Piedon and Trueblood in the backfield. In motion, Kamar Watson. Inside handoff to Piedon. Gain of about 7, maybe even 8. Ball spotted just outside the 39-yard line.
One thing it's easy to do sometimes for East Brunswick, you're so concerned about a player, Anthony Miller for J.P. Stevens, that you can kind of forget about the fullback, and he had a nice little game there, so they got to remember about that fullback also.
2 wide receivers split, 2 slot backs. In motion, that's Watson. The handoff to Trueblood. Kyle Trueblood will pick up the first down as he crosses the 45, tackle at the 46-yard line.
Greg Byrne with another tackle there. Again, East Brunswick, a couple guys had a chance at him, and they were arm tackling. It's tough to bring down a offensive player arm tackling. So,
just as you said that, James Correa, number 76, brought in to add some more muscle to the defensive line. Correa usually on the offensive line, now going 2 ways here.
Like you said, they have 9 people in the box here, single coverage on the wideouts. It'd be interesting if J.P. Stevens decide to, get a throw in one of these downs here.
Well, if you don't advertise it, there's a penalty flag too. Probably going to have a holding.
Yeah, that's usually the spot for it.
As Rafe Denise was brought down, tackled at the line. Get the official signal here. We have a face mask penalty against East Brunswick. Maybe that was on the attempted tackle. That's going to be it's going to be at the 5 with a 15-yard variety. Looked like Rafe Denise, number 78, was tackled himself. And maybe somebody caught the running back going through. Just the 5-yard variety here. Added on to the end of the run. Ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line.
It's a dangerous spot here. First and short, you might see him maybe try to take a chance down the field here.
That's Piedon in motion. Inside handoff. No gain, maybe little gain there. Maybe a handoff inside looked like it went to Watson, 46. More Watson.
One good thing I see from East Brunswick, and this goes to their coaching staff, is while people are holding the running back up, there's guys going for the ball there, trying to strip the ball out. That's a sign of good coaching. When your players have the ball carrier stopped, you see those guys tugging at the ball, trying to get a turnover.
Second down, long 1. Pitch to Trueblood. Trueblood has the outside, has the first down. Gets it to about the 40-yard line where he's brought down.
I tell you, Jovan Jones did a great job there. He took on the tackle and made a nice play in the open field there. It's not an easy thing to do.
The ball will be spotted just inside the East Brunswick 40-yard line. Be the 1st and 10 for the J.P. Stevens Hawks. Waiting for that first pass. That's 89. Patrick Garrigan at the top of the screen. Little size mismatch there, guarded by Nick Zelak. Inside handoff once again to 34 Piedon, stopped.
I'm very surprised right now J.P. Stevens isn't keeping the ball in Miller's hand a little bit more. There's been a lot of handoffs to the fullback and tailbacks. Maybe they're trying to set something up with the fake and have him keep the ball, but I expected to see him touch the ball a little bit more than he has so far. I'm sure by the end of the night we'll see plenty of him.
That's Michael Chupka down to the lower part of the screen. Again, Garrigan at the top. Trueblood, that's Piedon in motion. Almost getting right in there. And that play right there going for a 10-yard loss. You gotta start that play with Rafe Denise right there. The big man gets in, almost takes the handoff right out from Miller's hands.
And Danny Fessel did a nice job there of staying outside and not letting Miller get outside of him.
And wrapping up and finishing the job.
Exactly.
So now a third down and a country mile, it seems. Third down and 19. Now we might see the pass. We got two wide receivers as Trueblood and Chupka line up to the long side of the field here, the close side of the field. Garrigan at the top.
No safety here, just single coverage.
Boom. And a flag thrown, and a holding call. And Coach Marcus Borden emphatically saying, no, thank you very much. We'll take the results of the play. So after 30, 40 yards of positive progress, the last two plays result in losses, driving the Hawks back all the way to their own 46-yard line.
You can see on the TV screen right now that Miller looks a little gimpy there.
Fourth down and 24. Fourth down in Bayonne here. Dropping back to punt. And dropping back to punt. Get the number in a moment, but back for the Bears. Brian Robinson has a chance here. A little bloop of the snap. One bounce, two bounce.
Oh.
That one's just going to die right there.
Got to try to come up and field that if you can. Brian was a preseason all-area pick for punt returner in the Home News Tribune. So he's dangerous not only in the backfield but returning punts also.
I think it takes a special kind of character to return punts all back there by yourself.
Yeah, it sure does.
But I still like the Canadian football rule: no fair catch. But they give you the 5 yards,
right,
halo there, but still no fair catch. You got to run it. Second play from scrimmage for the offense. We didn't have a chance to set the offensive lineup here. Matt Mariano will pitch it back to Robinson, and he'll come around left end. Not much there. Gain maybe of 1, 2.
Yeah, let me just run down the lineup here for East Brunswick. You got Brian Robinson, number 23, in that running back. Jovan Jones, number 2 here at running back. Number 48, David Ruffner at fullback. Number 4, Matt Mariano at quarterback. And Dwayne Schultz at wide receiver. And we'll get to the other guys after this play here.
3 wide receivers in the pattern, 1 back. Mariano, a keeper, nice seal-off block there. Mariano can get to the outside, gets a block on the outside, and gets the first down and a couple more. Great block on the outside by Jovan Jones. And you got to watch that. That block is close to a hold or a blocking behind a back. You got to catch him on the shoulder pads.
Right. Mariano did a nice job, too, of breaking that one tackle, too, there. Just to get back to the rest of the East Brunswick offensive lineup. Tight end, number 84, Aaron Horace, who caught the touchdown pass. Number 63, Dan Lax. Number 53, Greg Byrne. Number 61, Tony Ogel. And number 76, James Correa, the offensive line for the Bears.
Horace movement there on the right side. Aaron Horace lining up here on the close side of the field. Immediately drew a different coverage as number 11, Kyle Trueblood, came out to cover him. Difference than what we've seen.
Yeah, Aaron Horace is quite an athlete. Is also a pretty good basketball player for the East Brunswick basketball team too.
Three wide receivers, Jones, Nick Zelak, Schultz. The pitch to Mariano. Oh, Robinson and East Brunswick now going backwards after the penalty, and that
play had disaster written all over it there.
Not just disaster, that's a play that can get somebody killed.
You're right about that.
That pitch pops up there, floats up there like that. That's an invitation. That's an invitation to get planted.
Yeah, put him in no man's land there. Well, quick quarter here. We're only down to 30 seconds now.
All right, it's second down. It's second down in Old Bridge right now. I mean, basically, East Brunswick needs to get to the 42-yard line. Mariano slips, gains maybe 2. Well, if you have a third down and 20 play in your catalog, you got a few seconds to look it over and see if you can come up with one. That's essentially what we're going to get as the clock winds down on the first quarter. And that's the end of the first quarter with our score. Bears 6 and the Hawks of J.P. Stevens nothing. Well, keeping up on the East Brunswick athletics calendar.
Okay, I have the girls soccer. Next game is Monday at 7 o'clock for South Brunswick. It's going to be senior night. The boys soccer team, their next game is Monday at South Brunswick. We have the boys cross country team with Coach Murray, and their next meet is on September 30th, Tuesday versus Old Bridge. Girls cross country will be having their next meet September 30th, Tuesday, home versus Old Bridge. Field hockey and Coach Todoroff will have their next game Monday, September 29th, and that is home versus South Plainfield. That should be a good game. South Plainfield is one of the better teams in the area. Girls tennis team and Coach Grant, next match will be Monday, home versus Newark Academy. Gymnastics next meet is open on Tuesday.
Open up first meet, yeah. First meet.
Okay, they're opening up Tuesday versus Bishop Bar, and that will be at East Brunswick at 5 o'clock. And Coach Rutz and the girls volleyball team will play next on Monday at South Brunswick.
Okay, starting from left to right on your television screen now as we start the second quarter of action here at J. Doyle Field. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen bringing you action of tonight's game versus the J.P. Stevens Hawks. It's third down and 20. And the inside handoff, that's Jovan Jones who's got a hole, and he stumbles forward and gets the first down.
Wow.
We were looking for that third down and 20 play, and I guess
there
they had the time to come up with one because Jovan Jones there takes it and goes 24 yards. And suddenly the East Brunswick Bears are out of a big hole.
You have to give East Brunswick credit there, but also J.P. Stevens is third and, like you said, over 20 yards, and to give up a play like that, it's tough.
Two big plays, a 24-yard run and a 54-yard pass, sparking the East Brunswick offense. Matt Mariano pitches it, and oh, another dangerous pitch. This time Brian Robinson gets it and hits the corner. That pitch, ooh.
I'll tell you what, Brian Robinson just did a good job to catch that ball, let alone get 6 yards on the play. So that was a nice athletic play by Brian there.
Pick up 6 yards, almost 7 on the play. Crossing midfield, ball spotted at the 48. And that'll bring up second down and a long 2, call it 3. Schultz, wide receiver, split out, close side of the field here. Full house backfield. Inside handoff. Not going anywhere. I don't think East Brunswick has the size to pound it up inside anymore.
Yeah, they're a little bit small up front, you know, so.
You don't have that punishing kind of back like Joey Alexander would go right in, boom,
right.
or Bobby Mineta would go right through people.
Right. That Mike Allstott type of running back. just pound you.
Okay, third down and back to call it a 2 now. Third down and 2. Only one back in the backfield. That's Dave Ruffner. Robinson. Mariano will drop back to pass. The ball comes out of his hands, but he falls on it. I don't know if was that tipped? Was that knocked out?
From how I saw it, I just think it slipped out of his hands. I like the play there. They faked the dive and drop back to pass. I just think the ball slipped out of his hands there. And he's looking right now at the coach, and he's looking at his hands as if, it just slipped out.
Not a peculiarly or particularly humid night.
No.
Rain possible coming in, but that's not for a while.
Right.
And that'll bring up fourth down, and Rafe Denise will drop back to punt. Denise can boom him. We saw him in the warm-ups. Not only high, but deep. Good snap. Nice punt. Good hang time. That drops Trueblood back. Trueblood tackled after a game about 7 yards on the return. Nice punt. Good hang time.
Just from looking at both teams, it looks like East Brunswick has a lot more life. JP Stevens is kind of walking to the huddle, heads down a little bit, and East Brunswick has some enthusiasm over there. So that's a big thing, just, being up for the game and having some enthusiasm.
Yeah, decent crowd on hand here at Jade Oil Field for a Thursday night game. Anthony Miller under center, now drops back. Second pass attempt here. Rafe Denise had him and finished off by, looked like Mike Asiani. 1-2 combination there, and a good coverage downfield too.
Yeah, excellent. He was looking for someone, and secondary did a nice job.
He was looking for
Kyle Trueblood there.
Again, not getting the time to set up and throw. The only one pass that he did complete was that little sprint rollout. Rolled right and hit Michael Chupka.
In JP Stevens' first game, Kyle Trueblood had a 68-yard touchdown reception, so it looks like he might be Miller's favorite target out there.
Second down and 16 now. Third sack. Oh, and wide open down the middle of the field is number 1, Tamar Robinson. Robinson, one person to beat, and that's Schultz. Can't get up to him. An 80-yard bomb right down the middle of the field, and JP Stevens says, "Ha, you think you can go right down the middle? So can we." And they have tied the score with 8:19 left to go in the second quarter.
Tell you, no one there for East Brunswick. Went right down the seam, and the only thing that I was thinking was, is the ball overthrown for a second, but he was able to run underneath it. Big extra point here.
And the extra point will be attempted.
Can never take these for granted. East Brunswick missed one earlier. I was watching a couple weeks ago, Tampa Bay and Carolina.
Well, we don't have this guy's number, so Mr. X here. And puts it through the uprights. So Mr. X, Racer X, from Speed Racer, puts it through. PAT is good. And that puts the Hawks of JP Stevens up 7-6, and all that life, all that energy, and all of a sudden, the Bears find themselves on the short end of a 7-6 score. East Brunswick's next game will come on October 3rd. That's Friday night against Sayreville.
Yeah, that Sayreville is 2-0 right now in the preseason #1 team, so that's by no means an easy game. So
the next home game coming up will be Friday, October 10th, here against Woodbridge. Then away at Bishop R, and returning here for homecoming on the 31st of October, Halloween night. A little trick-or-treat against South Brunswick, hopefully.
It's a funny thing about sports. East Brunswick, seem to have pretty good control of the game here. I mean, they're only up 6-0, but it looked like their defense was playing well. And it's all it takes is one play, and JP Stevens now has a lead, 7-6.
And that looks like 42. Michael Chupko will kick it off. Back deep for the Bears, Brian Robinson, number 23, and Nick Zelak, number 3. Watch for the pooch punt. They were practicing this. The little pooch kick. They were practicing this early on. Yep.
That's a little.
Yep. It's about where it was going, too. Picking it up for the Bears. That's Chaz Hobson, number 29. Had a little trouble handling that, and picks it up and brings it out to the 33-yard line, where the Bears will take over 1st and 10. Same unit out there for the Bears. Jovan Jones, Brian Robinson in the backfield. David Ruffner up full house backfield there. Fake the inside handoff. Here we go again. Oh! Just out of the reach of Schultz. Dwayne Schultz, and he was open. And can anybody cover down the middle?
I'll tell you. I caught there Miller looking into the backfield, and he saw the fake handoff, and he came up a couple steps, and that's all it takes, even with Miller's 4.4 speed that he has. You're coming in, and you get fooled like that. Almost a big play for East Brunswick.
Schultz laid out, dove for the ball, but could not come up with it. Just a bit overthrown. But that's where you have to throw that. You don't want to throw it short and have it picked off and run the other way. 2nd down and 10 now. This time just Ruffner and Jones in the backfield. Inside handoff. Not going very far with that. Maybe a gain of 4 or 5. And a 3rd down and 5. Coming up on 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter of action here from Jade Oil Field. 3rd and 5.
Watch for Horace down here low. Oh.
Inside handoff to Brian Robinson, spinning. Comes up maybe a yard short. Decision time for Coach Marcus Borden. You are in your own end, but do you have a 1-yard play? And the answer is no. Not going to try it here on 4th and a long yard. As the punting team comes on, Rafe Denise, 78, will go back and punt. Miller and Trueblood will drop back for the Hawks. Good snap. More of a line drive this time. Miller picks it up inside the 20, goes to 24, and heads out of bounds, and that's going to be a flag.
Up, the ref was looking like he was going to do it, but
oh, that was close.
I think he'll have a good talking to right now. I think Coach Bourne just had a couple words for Horace. There's no need for that. He's running out of bounds, and even though it wasn't a vicious push, it was a push nonetheless.
Well, you know, again, if he hits that cart or he hits the Gatorade jug down there,
right,
get a little more action, perhaps you can coax the flag. The ball will be spotted on the 38-yard line, where JP Stevens will take over now, 1st and 10, as they move right to left on your television screen. We're going to have a timeout, JP Stevens. Timeout, JP Stevens.
Just while we have this chance here, just to run down the red division, the records of the team right now, the different teams. East Brunswick is 1-1, like we said. Piscataway 2-0. South Brunswick is 1-1. Old Bridge is 2-0. Woodbridge is 1-1. JP Stevens is 2-0. Perth Amboy is 0-2. Sayreville is 2-0. East Brunswick's opponent next week, and North Brunswick is 0-2.
Just going through the record book here to see the longest touchdown pass. I don't think 80. I'm trying to think what that was, but it was on a play very similar to the one where Horace scored, kind of fake inside handoff. I remember it was not that long ago.
Yeah, it says here, longest TD pass completion, Chris Hurley, 95 yards versus Manalapan in 1998.
Yep, I remember that.
And second, Mark Mariski, 89 yards versus J.P. Stevens in 2000. And a name that many people might be familiar with, Brian Forte, had an 84-yard touchdown pass versus Brick in 1987. A lot of good names on the record books here.
Yep, and one surprising name that's in the record book is Josh Miller, who punts for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but in his career at East Brunswick, kicked the most career extra points with 54.
Had a good career at Arizona as a place kicker also.
Anthony Miller calling signals. The handoff fake to Watson, and they've tried this now 3 or 4 times, and 3 or 4 times the East Brunswick defense has come up big, and this time it's Brian Robinson and Javon Jones chasing him down. Speed there for the Bears defense. And that's just another ugly play. It just does not look like you can take that much time to unravel that play. You got to think about a little quicker.
Exactly.
J.P. Stevens coach getting that play started a little faster. A loss of 10, maybe 11. Now it's actually 13 now. Lost 13. It's second down and 23. Inside handoff, nothing. Nothing happening there.
Tell you, 2 things you always have to look for is a draw and a screen on those second and third and longs. Good job by East Brunswick staying at home there.
Ball will be spotted on the 27.5, 27, 28-yard line. They've got to get to the 48-yard line.
Number 81, Will Stoffer's coming in. Looks like number 48. David Ruffner might have got hurt a little bit on that play, a little banged up.
Garrigan lining up, wide receiver to the short side, close side of the sideline. Chupka up top. True Blood slotted outside. That's John Park, number 30, bringing down Miller on a scramble.
He's had a pretty active day today.
Well, we said that
the tackles.
Zutta, the number 70, the 290-pound offense, they haven't been running off his side.
No, you're right. You know, that's one thing we said we were going to look for. And I'll tell you what, in high school, let alone in college, 6'4", 290, I'd want to run behind that guy.
The punter for J.P. Stevens is number 51, Adam Lewis. Back deep for the Bears, Zelak and Robinson, hovering right around their own 30-yard line. It is a quick
Get away.
Whoa, get away from that. Yeah. Jovan Jones had a thought about picking it up, but he was heading in the wrong direction. Might have been difficult over the shoulder catch.
Right.
Bad snap forces an awkward punt, and the ball lands and falls dead at about the 49-yard line. The Bears will have excellent field position with 4 minutes and 1 second remaining in this second half. Good chance for the Bears now to take it in, drive it in, and go into halftime with the lead. Again, 1st and 10, ball just shy of midfield.
Tripp's right here.
And that's a reverse end around. Whoop. Robinson has to get by one man, manages get out of one tackle, but in spinning away, just did not have his feet under him to pick up more ground, but does pick up 4. Another slightly dangerous play.
Yeah, you're right. I thought if he got through that tackle, he had at least 5-6 more yards there. Matt Mariano, by the way, great block on that play. You get the J.P. Stevens' defensive end there.
Well, that's one thing about the EB quarterbacks of recent vintage, Mark Mariski and now Matt Mariano. They're going to get hit, and they're going to give hits.
They're hard-nosed players, exactly.
2nd down and 7 now for the Bears. Mariano on a keeper, bursts through that initial line and gets to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bears as they pick up a 13 on the play.
Good job by the offensive line there by the Bears. Got a good push there on the D-line of J.P. Stevens.
Schultz lines up, guarded now. Now Schultz guarded by Anthony Miller. Oh. That play was not going to go anywhere if Jovan Jones caught it. As you see, 4 white shirts there ready to smother Jones. 2nd down and 10, a little bit out of field goal range, especially considering the Bears' precarious kicking game at the moment with Patrick Bean being on the sideline in street clothes. So we're looking at 4 down territory here. Trips on the top of the screen. Robinson, Horace, and Schultz at the top. Fessel, Jones, 5 wide receivers out of the pattern. It's a wide receiver screen. Fessel needs to get a block. But there are 5 white shirts there, and Fessel actually is going to lose a yard. Defense for J.P. Stevens smelled that play.
Yeah, they did.
Now, if you're coach Marcus Borden, you don't have to get all 10 yards in one play.
Right.
Try to run this clock down as far as you can.
Right.
And even if you do turn it over on downs, don't give the Hawks any chance to make good use out of it.
Right.
Again, trips left. That's Robinson, Horace, and Schultz. Jovan Jones in motion. Little shuffle pass to Robinson, gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, and he's gone.
You know.
But we have a penalty on the play, marker on the play. Hold everything.
I know what they're going to call, and I disagree with it. All right, they're going to call a clip right here. Legal use of hands or a hold, and I think I saw who they called on. I think they called on number 2, Jovan Jones, but I thought he made a great block. He got his head in front of the defender, but.
Well, you have the advantage at home if you're taping this game to rewind it, or if you have the on-demand cable from the local cable provider, you can rewind. Yes, they do. I have that in my neighborhood with Comcast. Tough penalty, taking back a touchdown there, but that could have been the block that sprung them. So
yeah.
Now 3rd down and about 17 now. A little more conservative chance here, but again, look at the formation. Trips right here. Schultz, Horace, Robinson. Oh, throwing it up for Danny Fessel. Through his hands down by the 5-yard line, and it brings up now a 4th down.
Mariano did a good job just to catch that ball, low snap, and someone, I wasn't sure what back, someone picked up the blitzer too to give Mariano time.
And a golden opportunity goes by the wayside. The good defensive stand, the poor punt by the Hawks, and good field position negated by the holding penalty on the touchdown, or parent touchdown. And then incomplete pass brings up a 4th and 16. Rafe Denise will set up in punt formation.
See if he tries to angle this one here.
Yeah, angle it as far as he can away. It's going to drift, bounce, and go into the end zone. Nice play, good effort there, laying out, trying to knock that ball back. It looks like Fessel, 83, trying to get down there and down it
right
close. Minute 38 remaining, 2nd quarter. J.P. Stevens 7, East Brunswick 6. A missed extra point by the Bears. The difference in the score today. Scoring started at 7 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter. Inside handoff fake, and then a 56-yard strike from Matt Mariano to Aaron Horace. In the second quarter, J.P. Stevens did basically the same thing, except they hooked up for 80 yards from Anthony Miller to Tamar Robinson. Miller, long count. Will keeper go on the outside. Watson tried to block Fessel on the outside, ends up blocking him right into his own player, Anthony Miller. No gain on the play. And the timeout being called this time by Coach Marcus Borden and the Bears with a minute 23, thinking that they can get a stop with the shaky punting game of the Hawks. We might have an opportunity to take the play in, take some play, perhaps get a field goal attempt.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was East Brunswick's first time out of the half, so they have 2 left. So it's going to be interesting here, J.P. Stevens, what they're going to do here. Well, 2 big plays here so far have got us at 7-6 here. J.P. Stevens missed extra point by East Brunswick. See if they can overcome that.
Again, good crowd on hand. Thursday night action tonight. The game moved for Thursday night because of the upcoming Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah coming up. But a good crowd on hand nonetheless for the first home game of the 2003 season. And I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen, bringing you all the action on EBTV. We'll be back here at least one more time. Maybe we're going to be here for Thanksgiving. A little turkey dinner in the middle of the press box here, hopefully. See if we can get Principal Murphy to spring for that.
That'd be nice.
Anthony Miller will pitch it to Trueblood. Trueblood trying to go around the outside. Does manage to break free, gets the first down. And that strategy goes by the wayside as Trueblood gains about 25 on the play. 25-yard pickup. But hold on, do we have a flag? I see the officials conferring. We have a flag. Holding against the Hawks. Lucky break there, but again, that's probably why they were able to spring him on the outside.
Dwayne Schultz did a nice job of holding on to number 11, Kyle Trueblood. Getting some help from his teammates.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, moves it back to just inside the 20-yard line, so it'll be a second down. And Coach Borden forced to take another timeout because the clock would have started up again after the reset, even though there was no real play there. So East Brunswick hoping for a quick stop, timeout. Then another quick stop. And then maybe one play they'll get with the clock now at 1 minute and 11 seconds. This was Coach Marcus Borden's 20th season as head coach of the Bears.
Yes, it is.
And he has a winning record, too. I don't have
101 wins, 91 losses, and 1 tie.
Good, considering you don't think of East Brunswick as a football powerhouse in this area.
No, at least not for the last few years. They had some rough years.
Well, the 2001 campaign, particularly rough. Last year, though, surprisingly, the football team came back. Crowd really got into it. It's good to see that kind of life back here in J. Doyle Field here in the stadium.
Yeah, you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and the seniors last year to turn it around like they did.
Okay, second down and 11 now. Ball on the 19-yard line. Miller under center. Here comes Ruffner sneaking up. Pitch to Tamar Robinson. And Robinson actually does, well, he gets close to the first down marker. If he didn't make the first down marker, he actually helps Coach Borden because he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. Referee signals that it is going to be third down. And about a yard, maybe less than a yard, length of the football perhaps. So Tamar Robinson not aware of where the first down marker was. May end up costing his team, we'll see. Third down and the length of the football. 1:05 remaining.
He's got some speed, that Robinson. Very impressive.
That's Garrigan. Splits out close sideline here. Chupka up top. Inside handoff. That's good for a first down. That's Piedon. Clock will stop as they move the sticks.
Be interesting to see if J.P. Stevens is just content with kneeling on it here, or they're gonna.
No, they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Right.
East Brunswick only has 1.
They don't look like in much of a rush here. I think they'll be happy to go in the locker room up 7-6.
East Brunswick does get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
Clock winding down now. Ball put in play. Deep pass downfield again. That middle seam is open, and Trueblood got behind Jovan Jones. Jovan Jones pats himself on the chest, knowing that he should have been out there, but the pass overthrown.
I think we might see cover 2 or at least 1 safety back there now, but especially in this situation, you don't mind them completing the ball in front of you. You can't get beat, and I know it's easy saying it up here, but you got to know the situation and know that it's all right if they catch it in front of you, but you can't let them get behind you there.
Quickly explain what cover 2 is. You hear that a lot when analysts are breaking down defenses.
That's where you have 2 safeties, and each one has half of the field, so you're responsible for the deep halves of the field there. So right now we have number 83, Dan Well, actually, we got 4 deep right now. We got each of the safeties have a fourth of the field.
Miller dancing around, dangerous, puts that ball away. Carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. Gets close to the first down. Probably not. No, it does not look like he will have the first down, so the clock is still running. 13 seconds left to go. It is a 4th down. Time for 1 more play.
Might as well throw it here. If I'm JPC, what the heck?
Last play of the half as Miller drops back. He's going to launch one down the field. And Tamar Robinson, the closest person to it. Incomplete. And that's our second quarter finished now. It's first half on the books here at Jade Oil Field. Our score at halftime, the Hawks of J.P. Stevens 7, the East Brunswick Bears 6. We'll be back for second half action in just a moment. And welcome back to J. Doyle Field here on EBTV, broadcasting all the action to you of tonight's East Brunswick Bears football game against the Hawks of J.P. Stevens. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen. Our score is J.P. Stevens 7, East Brunswick 6. Does that score surprise you, Richie, at all?
A little bit. I mean, J.P. Stevens had the ball first, and East Brunswick stopped them. And right when East Brunswick got the ball back, they were able to score 56-yard pass from Matt Mariano to Aaron Horace to go up 6-0. And unfortunately for East Brunswick, they missed the extra point. So then J.P. Stevens in the second quarter was able to score on a 80-yard touchdown pass from Anthony Miller to Tamar Robinson to go up 7-6. They made the extra point. So East Brunswick has had some chances. They got one touchdown called back for a holding penalty. And you know, it's kind of one of those games that, you know, both teams I think are going to be in it at the end, and maybe the team that can make a big play or get a big stop might be able to win this game. So I think we're in for a pretty exciting second half here.
Both those touchdowns scored over the middle. Fake inside handoff, and then voila, somebody pops open right down the middle. It's a weakness, I guess, on both sides here.
Right.
East Brunswick will get the ball to start the second half. East Brunswick coming up with big plays on defense, sacking quarterback Anthony Miller at least 4 times that I can remember.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job of really containing him and you know, not making it easy on him.
And the special teams, we noted at the beginning of the broadcast that the Bears' regular place kicker, Patrick Bean, is in street clothes, number 14, down on the sidelines. Sitting down there on the bench right there. And his absence keenly felt as Matt Mariano missed the extra point. But on the other hand, the East Brunswick punting game here, Rafe Denise booming the ball, getting good coverage downfield, and a little problems there on the J.P. Stevens side on handling a short punt of only about 10 yards there, but the Bears could not capitalize there on that particular punt as Adam Lewis mishandled the snap and only, you know, after avoiding a couple of Bear tacklers, punted it about 10 yards. Bears in the green uniforms, coming from your right to left on your television screen. Teeing it up for the Hawks of J.P. Stevens, number 42, Michael Chupka. Back deep for the Bears in single formation, there is Brian Robinson. All set to play. Second half underway here at J. Doyle. That's Jovan Jones going to take it. Going to have to look for a block as he tries to get around the outside. And there we have the flag that was missing earlier.
Right.
A little bit of a rough play there as Jones was hogtied and collared and thrown right on top of the yard marker there. Those are styrofoam or foam rubber. They're not that. But being out of bounds, being late on the hit, tack on another 15 yards. Bears will start on the positive side of the 50-yard line.
I'm not too sure why J.P. Stevens is doing that little pooch. I mean, you catch the ball at the 25, and I mean, you know, the field position that you get, he went to the 40, but.
Well, the one time they tried it after their touchdown, Chaz Hobson had problems fielding it.
Right.
And they only picked it up and maybe got 7 or 8 yards on it. So now the Bears will operate 1st and 10 on the Hawks' 45-yard line. Ruffner, 48. Jones, number 2. Robinson, 23, behind Matt Mariano, number 4 for your East Brunswick Bears. Straight up the middle, Brian Robinson. Good old East Brunswick football there to start the second half. Surprised us the first offensive play of the first half for the Bears. And
right.
And that was the 56-yard touchdown pass. So East Brunswick going more back to a more traditional offensive set there. Second down, gain of about 2.5. Call it 3. 2nd and 7. That's Dwayne Schultz at the top of your screen. And that's the danger of that pitch. And East Brunswick will turn it over. And it's not the fault of the person who's got to catch it. That ball was seriously over the head and past. Looked like Jovan Jones there on.
Right. Number 46, Kamara Watson there almost made a big mistake. He tried to kind of scoop the ball and get going, and then he couldn't get a hold of it. And I thought for a minute maybe East Brunswick could fall on it, but they couldn't. You see that ball and you want to scoop it up right away, but there was a little traffic there, and he almost cost J.P. Stevens of recovering that ball, but they were able to fall on it.
First turnover of the game for either side. East Brunswick unable to capitalize on the great field position. Now goes back on defense as the ball is just shy of midfield, where Anthony Miller, number 3, will line up the Hawks, 1st and 10. Little confusion there.
A little arguing there by Bart Piedon and number 11, Kyle Trueblood. Something was, I don't know if the play got in wrong or what the deal was, but.
Time for the East Brunswick defense to come up big. Get their own turnovers here.
We'll have to keep our eye on that. I mean, in a game this close, near the end, you might need all the timeouts that you can have.
Beautiful night here on a Thursday night. A few clouds out there. No chance of rain right now. Well, maybe a little later on. Some showers. But a gorgeous night for football. And now the Hawks will come out and finally get their play organized. Garrigan at the top of the screen, split out. Chupka at the bottom of the screen, split. Tamar Robinson in the slot. Piedon and Trueblood behind Anthony Miller. Miller straight back. Breaks away from Danny Fessel and darts down the sideline and gets the first down. Good coverage in the secondary by the Bears, but lack of containment on the D line gives Anthony Miller a chance to get outside, pick up the first down. Just inside the 40.
Perfect example of Miller's athleticism there. Was able to turn nothing into something there and get a first down.
Garrigan splits out to the top. Chupka down here to the lower end of your television screen. Miller under center, 1st and 10. Inside handoff. Going nowhere.
Good hit there by number 30, John Park.
Park is not the biggest player out there, but he's certainly one of the most active on that Bears defensive front. Looks like he's the signal caller there, number 30. Plays lacrosse in the springtime. I believe he's the backup goaltender, trying out to be the starting goaltender this year, perhaps, for Coach John Lamella and the Bears lacrosse team in the spring. Sister Caitlin played on the girls lacrosse team. Anthony Miller, under center. A handout to Kamar Watson. Watson up the middle, being bounced around like a pinball. Finally brought down by the interior of that Bears defense.
Kind of ran into his blocker there and stopped his momentum for a little bit. Then the Bears were able to pounce on him.
Now, we had mentioned in the first half, you look at number 70 on that offensive line for the Hawks. That's
Jeremy Zutta.
Jeremy Zutta, 290 pounds, but they're not running off that side.
Yeah, it's
surprising.
Yes, it is. I mean, you don't see that size in high school too often.
Big time 3rd down play here. We've got a flag. It looked like
Zutta moved.
Some motion there. Well, when he moves, you realize you reckon with it.
He doesn't have to move much either to see that on that
And a false start on the O-line for the Hawks. March it back. Bring up a 3rd down and 10. Still a big defensive play here for the East Brunswick Bears defense. 3rd and 11 as they march it just outside the 40-yard line. Hawks have to get just inside the 30 for a 1st down. 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter. Our score, J.P. Stevens 7, East Brunswick 6. Miller back to pass, looking downfield, throws the downfield in and out of the hands of Matt Zelak. Zelak went right through his. It would have been tackled at about the 5-yard line, but it would have been an East Brunswick interception.
Did a nice thing there too, which all good D-backs do. He got a lot of depth there, so he made sure that he was deep enough and then he could make a play on the ball. Looks like J.P. Stevens will go for it here. They figure they're on the 40. That
with their spotty punting game. Oh no, they are going to punt as Adam Lewis, who almost trips over some of his players as they rush off here. Now they set for punt formation, kind of catching the EB and dropping back in dual coverage to receive the punt is Robinson. And that ball is going to take an EB bounce. It goes out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. So Zelak and Robinson went back to field the punt, and the punt drops about 15 yards in front of them and bounces on top of that. So the Bears will take over 1st and 10, 8 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Ball on the 24-yard line. Next week, the Bears travel. They're on the road again. This time they're going to be at Sayreville. That should be a good game. Bombers. Inside handoff, little fake. And trying to stay on his feet is Zelak. He had the hole, and he slams his hand into the ground.
Seen that a couple times with these Brunswick players. Look like slipping a little bit.
Well, they can't blame it on weather.
No.
Can't blame it on mud or wet turf. Turf's in pretty good shape considering teams have been on it already, practicing and playing. 2nd down and 5 now. Matt Mariano, inside handoff as Robinson dips in and out, picks up 4 of that 5. And that's the first time we had a chance to look at Jeremy Zetta on defense.
Great seal block there by number 63, Dan Lax of East Brunswick. Just sealed off the guy perfectly and let running back cut right through.
Big 3rd down play here for the Bears. 3rd and 1. Full house backfield for the Bears as Matt Mariano keeps it on his own and will drive it across the 35-yard line, and that will be the 1st down. Should be the 1st down. That's it. Move the chains. Get the chain gang going there.
One thing to take a look at for the future, I think East Brunswick's going to try to go deep maybe one time on these corners. Even though they're good athletes, I see them staring in the backfield. If they can get some time for protection, they might have someone on a stop-and-go route.
Mariano looking to set up the pass. Now he's going to keep it, try to go inside. Nowhere. Loss of a yard.
He did a good job of just making it only a loss of the yard. He kind of slipped the tackle there 5 or 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, was able to only lose a yard there for Bears.
2nd and 11, ball on the 34. Matt Mariano, the junior quarterback, taking over from Mark Mariski. Mark Mariski is still continuing his football career in college.
I believe he's going to Dickinson.
Inside handoff, I believe that's Ruffner. David Ruffner pick up 6 of those yards. 5 is the spot. Puts the ball at the 39-yard line.
Now these guys sometimes don't get the credit they deserve, but this drive, though, the East Brunswick offensive line is doing a nice job of pushing the D-line of J.P. Stevens back. Have to give them some credit here. Sometimes they get lost in the mix.
To keep the drive alive, the Bears will have to get to the 45-yard line. 6 yards needed. Mariano looking and getting his hand on it is Schultz, 17. But only one hand, the ball popped up in the air, but Schultz could not corral it. Ball falls harmlessly incomplete. Brings up a 4th down, and again, here's where the Bears might have an advantage as Rafe Denise will come back to punt. Good hang time on his punts, too. Three-man wall of protection there in front. Good snap. Nice hang time. Fair catch call for. Ball bounces. Going to take a small East Brunswick bounce. But that works just as well as Anthony Miller doesn't have a chance to pick it up and run with it. Ball on the 26-yard line for the J.P. Stevens Hawks with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score, East Brunswick trails J.P. Stevens Hawks by a score of 7-6. To let you know, on EBTV, there will be coverage of other East Brunswick home games, including the game on the 10th here against Woodbridge, and on the 31st against South Brunswick, and of course the traditional Thanksgiving Day Battle of Route 18 here at J. Doyle this year, Thanksgiving Day. Anthony Miller with only one setback in the backfield. That's Robinson who gets the pitch. Robinson tries to break it outside and is met on that sideline by Zelak. Pushed out after a gain of 4. Bring up a 2nd down. You're listening to 50-50 tickets.
Yeah, I know. I got mine here. I'm trying to do that right now.
Wait, I guess after the play. Miller with Robinson in the backfield, and we have a timeout.
Maybe took too much time getting the play off.
Okay. I guess.
Wants to talk to Coach Borden about it.
Clock time.
He's looking up here.
Hey, don't
look
get
at
us. We had nothing to do with it. Talk to these guys.
$4:59. We're just yelling down. They want 4:59 on the clock. And they put it on there. And
okay. Glad to be of service. Wonder, amazing things with these microphones can pick up. A little conversation like that. Actually, that probably went up from Coach Borden to the coaches, East Brunswick coaches above us on top of the press box here at J. Doyle Stadium. All right, Anthony Miller again with Tamar Robinson in the backfield. Motion. The pitch to Robinson on the outside. The Bears again converge on it. A lot of east-west running, not much north-south. .631 on the last 3 digits there, Richie.
Yeah, not even close. Guess I got here too early. Got the lower numbers.
If you ever go to a minor league baseball game, Kevin McAvoy and I were down in San Antonio, Texas. If you want to win any of those minor league contests where you look for the autographs or the special stamp on the program, you got to get there right away because they know they want to get rid of those things. Well, I think me and him and his son all bought programs at the San Antonio Mission game. We all won prizes. Little diversion there, but Miller looking for a wide receiver screen to Trueblood. Trueblood is tackled, but he will have enough, it looks like, for a first down. All they needed was 4. It looks like Trueblood got 6 on the play. Kyle Trueblood, a 6-foot junior. Well, we have an injury.
Yeah, I'm not. Looks like a green uniform. I can't tell a number. Maybe if the camera can. Probably be tough for him to get there. There's a lot of players there. Just to go over upcoming schedule for East Brunswick sports. Girls soccer, who won today, 1-0 against Westfield team, which is always a tough team. Will play next Monday at 7 o'clock, a night game for South Brunswick. As we see number 2 there, Javon Jones. Looks to be all right. For South Brunswick, and that will be senior night. Boys soccer also Monday at South Brunswick. Boys cross country next Tuesday versus Old Bridge. Girls cross country is home versus Old Bridge on September 30th, Tuesday. And after this play, I'll get through the rest of the East Brunswick sports teams.
Trueblood in motion. Anthony Miller under center. The handoff to Piedon, stopped it, smothered.
Good hit there.
Hello. Rafe Denise there, 78. Look what I found. Boomed, tackled, and thrown for a 1-yard loss. Javon Jones down the sideline being attended to by student trainer Tim Ackerman. Looks like a calf, maybe a bruised calf or something. He's rolling up his sock.
Girls field hockey will be playing Monday, September 29th, home versus South Plainfield. Girls tennis Monday, home versus Newark Academy. Gymnastics opens up Tuesday versus Bishop R in East Brunswick at 5, and girls volleyball Monday at South Brunswick.
That's Omari Nelson at the top of your screen, split out. Chupka down here on the short side. Miller looking, was looking at that time for, and running out of bounds. Just ahead of the first down marker, Anthony Miller had the presence of mind to put it on, tuck it under and run, as Omari Nelson was covered on that sideline route. But in taking the coverage with him, opened up a hole that Miller exploited for a 12-yard gain.
Sometimes tough, too. I know it's the second half to adjust to a quarterback with that much speed. Sometimes you take the wrong angles. And, you know, East Brunswick did a good job of making sure that he didn't get any more on that, though.
It's kind of hard to practice against speed.
Right, simulate that. It's like when in the NFL with Michael Vick, you just can't think he can get to that spot, but he does.
Chupka and Trueblood split out to the right. Miller under center. Inside handoff and rumbling through for a 10-yard gain is somebody we have no number for. We had kicker X, and now we have running back Y. Number 32, though, did pick up 10 yards, or no, 9 yards, as they say, his knee hit down just before reaching the 40-yard line. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this third quarter. This drive started on about the 26, 27-yard line, so good drive being put together here by Anthony Miller and the Hawks of J.P. Stevens. Surprise, as, Rafe Denise swipes the ball out, but the referees had blown that play. Forward progress stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Good idea, though.
Bring up a third down. Looked like Brian Robinson, 23, was cheating on that outside and forced number 32, our mystery running back, to take it back inside. Third down in the length of a football, it looks like. 2-down territory here for Coach Frank Zarro and the Hawks. And sneaking forward for a 3-yard gain is Anthony Miller. First down.
wind it down here in this third quarter. Only a minute 11 left.
Started out so promising with East Brunswick getting the ball on the Hawks' 45-yard line after a poor kickoff, but a good return, and then a costly, what could have been a costly late hit penalty for another 15 yards on top of that. First and 10. The pitch to Robinson. Coming up, Dwight Schultz. Whoa. And not letting him get away is Schultz, number 17. By my count, that is the 7th or 8th defensive play that resulted in a loss of yards for the Bears.
Yeah. Tamar Robinson looks a little bit upset there, but nothing wrong with the play there that Schultz had.
That probably is going to be the last play of this quarter, as the Hawks do not seem to want to get to the line with any degree of alacrity here. And that is the end of the third quarter. With the score remaining, the Hawks 7, the Bears 6. EBTV, your local cable home for East Brunswick High School sports. Remember, right there on the schedule, they have a soccer match set up, or trying to be set up for one of the Wednesday games here.
Well, disappointing news a few weeks ago with Heather O'Reilly, a East Brunswick graduate soccer player who's playing at North Carolina right now. Was going to be on the women's World Cup soccer team, but injury didn't allow her to be able to come back in time. That's
Did you see that?
disappointing.
Did you see that on ESPN, that game against Ireland?
Yes, I did.
It was a friendly game that was kind of rescheduled at the last minute because of the cancellation of the trip to China because of the SARS outbreak. Beautiful goal, headed it right in, but that goalie came out and legs got locked up and tied up, and boom.
Yeah, one of those awkward positions, but I'm sure we'll be hearing from her in the future.
Well, just hope that the recovery went well. I know it was a little more than what we had originally thought of or what was reported on in the paper. Heather was around at graduation, hobbled up, got her diploma, but rehab for the UNC soccer season hopefully went well.
Right.
Second and now 14 as we begin the fourth quarter. The Hawks operating right to left on your television screen. Miller under center. Second down, 14. Ruffner on a blitz. Miller bottled up, tries to break it to the outside and has room. Will get the first down and more as he breaks down the sideline, out of bounds inside the 20. Again, you're right about taking that angle.
So close to being a great play by East Brunswick. Like you said, Ruffner on the blitz, and they just couldn't quite grab to him, and then he showed his speed there, and tough break for East Brunswick. There's if you can hear in the background, the band is back here in the fourth quarter, doing a nice job over there.
Yeah, it's band director John Kish, and his band performed at halftime. Tribute to Chuck Mangione. Ball now on the 20-yard line, just at the 20. First and 10. Samar Robinson deep in the backfield, gets the handoff, but slips and falls. And that's going to be a little unsportsmanlike push and shove on Tamar Robinson as he got up, shoved the East Brunswick defender backwards.
You know what? I saw that coming when he was angry at Schultz before at legal play. He thought he had a little too much extracurricular activity, and he's got to calm down. He's hurting his team right now. We just had a little visitor in here, a flying squirrel, I was told.
Flying squirrel? Rocky squirrel here? Rocky?
Yeah, I think he's up in the corner now. He was just on the floor by my feet. I was getting a little nervous. I hope. Hopefully, just stays away from me here.
Well, maybe it's like the black cat that shows up at the Mets games. You know, a little good luck or reverse black cat.
There he goes.
Moving this way
he's
now.
Going across. Whoa.
Okay, it's a little chipmunk. Okay, guys, he's you know. Second down, 25 now. Ball on the 35. East Brunswick looking for the stop here. The handoff to Trueblood. Gets about 5 of that back. At best. 6 maybe. That was a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty against Tamar Robinson.
Things like that can change games, you know.
If you look across the way, Tamar Robinson is as far away from the coach as he can get. He is standing around the 40-yard line, but the 40-yard line, that's 30 yards behind the current huddle. So he's not a happy camper.
To say the least.
Piedon in the backfield with Trueblood. Little confusion on the Bears defense. Rollout. And the pass is complete to Piedon, who will pick up a nice sizable chunk of the yardage needed, but looks to be about 3 or 4 yards short. Decision time here for Coach Frank Zarrow.
If he's got any kind of kicker, you might want to try it, but I don't know here. It's a tough decision. Nice play by Schultz, by the way, stopping him, and good touch by Miller on that pass.
Well, it looks like the answer is no kicking here. It's going to be 4th down and 3. Ball on the 13-yard line. The Hawks got to get to the 10. Piedon and mystery running back number 32 line up behind Anthony Miller. I'd be surprised if this ball leaves Miller's hands. And tackled for a loss and stopped. Aaron Horace stuck through and grabbed the ankles of Anthony Miller and brought him down, as East Brunswick once again force a turnover on downs.
Horace having a nice game on both ends of the ball. He had the big touchdown earlier in the game, and great stop there of Miller.
Now let's see if the Bears can capitalize on that huge momentum swing. You're right, a field goal there.
You go up, you force them to score a touchdown to go up on you, but, high school football especially, sometimes the field goal unit.
Not a reliable.
Exactly.
Matt Mariano, inside handoff and stopped for a loss. Ruffner, little payback there behind the line. Loss of 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 12. Now ball on the 14-yard line for the Bears. Got to get to about the 26. Matt Mariano pitches it to Robinson, trying to get to the outside. Robinson manages to break to the outside, get maybe 6. Gets out to about the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, if they keep that toss with Robinson, I think they're eventually going to break a pretty sizable one. I think he's pretty close to, a tackle here or a block here of really breaking one. So.
But you got to run that. If you're going to run that, run it to the wide side,
exactly.
Not run it to the short side. Dwight Schultz, 17, splits out to the right here, close sideline. Robinson around the end again, trying to carry it forward, lean forward, maybe to the 24, maybe to the 24. And the punting team looks like will come on.
I don't think there's a question here. You got to punt it. You got 7:45 right now on the clock. maybe if you're around the 50, you think of maybe going for it because it's about a 4th and 3, but
yeah,
not
3.
here. There's no thought even.
And no immediate need, as we're only down to 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Rafe Denise will back up to about his 10-yard line. Nice punt. Back to the 43 is Miller. Anthony Miller, hop, skip, jump, breaks it, and this is, what you didn't want to see happen. Giving them the ball back in positive territory. Miller, dangerous, brings the ball back almost to the original line of scrimmage where he left it. Little confrontation, coaching staff there wanting a rough play penalty. Ball will be spotted as Miller stepped out of bounds at the 30. So a net gain there of
about
9 yards.
Yeah.
A good punt, but in this case, maybe too good of a punt as he outkicked his coverage.
Right.
And put it right in the hands of Anthony Miller. who's going to take this time? Yes, it is. JP Stevens will now take their second timeout. 7:08 remaining. You're watching East Brunswick High School football on EBTV. I'm Ken Saroka along with Richie Whalen on our first of 4 telecasts on EBTV. Next week, the Bears will be traveling to Sayreville War Memorial High School on Friday, the 3rd of October. Then we'll be back here on October 10th for Woodbridge, 7 o'clock start time then on that Friday night. Travel to Bishop R on the 17th, have a 2-week break, and then homecoming on Halloween night. Halloween night. This will be one of the first Halloween nights that I won't be tending the door and giving out candy and those Wendy's and McDonald's gift certificates.
Always loved to get those as a kid.
A lot more fun than candy, too, because you kind of had to force your parents to take you to the Wendy's or the McDonald's to go get the stuff. So you not only got the dessert or the fries, you got the hamburger.
Exactly, you got the whole
package.
The whole spiel.
Tamar Robinson now, I guess he's out of the doghouse.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if he was going to come back in.
Out of the doghouse now and back into the lineup. Anthony Miller under center. Drops back to pass. Now trying to run, but this time bad call on Miller going through up the middle. No room there. He's been successful avoiding that rush by ducking to the outside. Again, the East Brunswick rush coming right up the middle, not bothering to tackle with 6'4", 290-pound Jeremy
I think
Zutta.
East Brunswick's going to take a timeout. There's some equipment problem with Robinson, and what I think Coach Borner might be saying is maybe to let the referees know that, or not sure.
Well, that maybe doesn't have a good substitute right now that can go in and take that spot. Training staff and the student managers looking for either chin straps or something to get it put back together again. Ball spotted on the 30-yard line, 6:41 remaining.
Kind of looking into the future a little bit here, though. If JP Stevens were to score here, you figure that they, make the extra point, go up 14-6. So East Brunswick still would have a chance here if JP Stevens were to go in and score of tying the game with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Hopefully for East Brunswick, they can stop him here and get the ball and not have that happen. But even if JP Stevens does score here, they still have a chance to at least tie the game.
2nd and 10. That's Piedon, man in motion. Inside handoff to number 32. Rumbles his way through a couple of tacklers and gets the first down. Sorry, that's all we have on him is number 32. East Brunswick has forced 2 fourth down turnovers in terms of fourth down turning it over on downs from Peters, JP Stevens, but have not come up with the big play, the fumble, the interception. And JP Stevens managed to force a fumble on the first offensive possession of the second half here. Ball just inside the 20, 1st and 10. Pitch to Tamar Robinson. Good tackle there, Brian Robinson.
Looked like he got his equipment fixed all right there.
Yep. And it looks also, as I see in the defensive backfield for the Bears, Javon Jones is back after the problem he had, I guess, a bruised calf or something. He tended to by the training staff and is back out there. That's Chupka, 42, split out right. Trueblood is split out down to the short end of the field. Omari Nelson in motion. That will come back. Referee immediately signals holding.
I haven't really seen too many flags today. We got that one personal foul, a couple holds.
The one big one.
One big one for East Brunswick with a hold on the touchdown run.
Would have been nice to go into halftime with the lead. The complexion of the game would have changed a little bit.
Yep.
So instead of a good play picking up positive yardage, the hold coming actually behind the line of scrimmage. So the mark-off makes it now a 2nd and 22. Ball around the 32-yard line. Got to get down to the 10. 5 minutes remaining. Long count. Dropping back is Anthony Miller. Going deep. And not even in the same area code there for Chupka. Good coverage by Schultz, number 17 on the outside.
Nothing against Chupka there, but I'd probably be looking for Robinson or Trueblood if I was Miller there. Seem to have a little bit more speed, maybe get some more distance on their defender there.
Well, Bears doing good defense on those sideline routes. It's in the middle that they've had their weakness exposed. The long 80-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Robinson, and then one that almost connected.
All right.
3rd down, 22. Dropping back again, Miller will get at least 10 of that back. Ball on the ground, but they say down by contact. That'll bring up a 4th down and about 7. Now you might see Coach Frank Zarro change his mind here. You've got a 4th down and 6, 4th and 7.
From about the 16, right? So if they were to kick the field goal, it would be a 33-yard field goal.
Well, they're not going to go. They're going to go for it. And here again, Bears defense must come up with the big play. 4th down and 7. Ball on the 16, 17-yard line. Got to get it inside the 10.
Guess what they're saying is we want to run a little more clock, and if you do get it on downs, you're going to have to go about it.
Again,
85, 90 yards.
I'd be surprised if this ball leaves Miller's hand. Oh, he's dropping back to pass. Looking, under pressure. And he is tackled once again at the line of scrimmage, and JP Stevens will turn the ball over on downs. Twice inside or close in the red zone, and twice turn the ball over on downs.
Two things there. Great coverage by the defensive backs for East Brunswick, and good job by the line and linebackers of pursuing and getting to Miller.
Well, if you're Coach Marcus Borden, you've got to get about 75 yards here out of the 84 with the uncertain status of your field goal kickers. With 3 minutes, 39 seconds left to go, Matt Mariano will bring the troops up. Ball on the 16, back to pass, looking and finding Danny Fessel, sidelines. That's a name we haven't called on offense here much. But that play will be close to the marker. And it is a East Brunswick first down.
I like what East Brunswick's doing here, having Mariano in shotgun, so he has a little bit more time, and he looks good throwing the ball here. I think East Brunswick has a pretty good shot here.
The exception of that fumble, which at midfield looked like he lost the grip on the ball. Trips right. Looking again downfield, and Aaron Horace broke past, but Mariano overthrew him. Little hitch and go or a stop and go move there. Aaron Horace on the hash marks. Split right between Anthony Miller and E.J. Baluch. Well, second down and 10. Once again, we're in 4-down territory here with only 3:27 left. Bears have 2 timeouts.
One thing that's going to be important here is the blocking of the offensive line. If they're going to be throwing the ball, they need to give Mariano some time so he can find the receivers.
Oh, had Fessel again on that sideline route, but threw it too far out of his reach. Third down and 10. Checking in for the Bears is Will Stauffer's number 81. Aaron Horace comes out. Danny Fessel comes out. Maybe a little more speed on the outside. Robinson joins the trips right. Javon Jones. Oh, and threw it behind. Had Dave Dalton there on the outside, but threw it behind him. Fourth down. Now what do you do?
Well, let's see. There's 3:19 left. East Brunswick has 2 timeouts left.
The last time that that East Brunswick punted, Anthony Miller returned it all the way back to the 30-yard line. And Coach Marcus Borden is going to take a timeout. Well, we had the opportunity, I think it was at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, to devise a 3rd and 24 play. Now we need to come up with a 4th and 10 play as East Brunswick burns their second timeout. So this is the big gamble. With only 1 timeout remaining, as long as J.P. Stevens does not throw the incomplete pass, they can pretty much run the clock out.
Yeah, I think you're almost basically forced to go for it now that you took the second timeout. You only have 1 left. Like you said, it's not going to be much time at all left for East Brunswick if they do punt it away. So. Hey, both teams have played a hard-fought game here on both sides. East Brunswick has done a nice job against Anthony Miller here, containing him, and you know J.P. Stevens has also done a nice job in limiting the Bears on offense. So it's been a good hard-fought game by both sides.
And again, the Achilles heel being the injury to Bears regular place kicker, and Matt Mariano now is going to step back in punt formation. Unusual here, Rafe Denise not punting, maybe a little more directional punting here going on for the Bears. Or, yeah, a little line drive and watch it bounce, and that way, no return. Ball will go out of bounds or will be downed right around the 40. So a change of tactic there in the punt tactic. Question whether or not the need for a timeout at that point to do that, but it did work, as now the J.P. Stevens Hawks have to get themselves out of a hole in their own 40 as opposed to having a chance for a good return.
Well, I think East Brunswick can expect a lot of Anthony Miller here holding on to the ball, and I would be very shocked to see any type of pass here with the incompletion, which would stop the clock. So
Patrick Garrigan lines up bottom part of your television screen. The handoff inside the Piedon. Now he breaks it outside, and he's going to get to around the first down marker, close to midfield. Bears defense stuffing the inside. Piedon taking it outside. Anthony Miller comes back from the sideline with the play in hand. Bears burn their last time out.
So this is basically it. He had J.P. Stevens get a first down. I think they'll be able to run out the clock. So this is it here. East Brunswick needs to hold them here. Doesn't get any easier for East Brunswick. Like you said before, they'll have to go to Sayreville next week, October 3rd, and play a very talented Sayreville team.
Well, it's going to be a hard victory, hard defeat to swallow here for the Bears if they are unable to pull the stop and take it downfield. The loss by that one extra point, that missed extra point. Send it into overtime. Then the callback, the penalty on the touchdown run.
Right.
That callback, that touchdown.
Definitely look at a lot of things tonight.
Anthony Miller, number 3, brings him up under center. True Blood, number 11. Piedon, number 34, in the backfield. Again, we doubt that we'll see this ball leave and go airborne here.
Oh, that's huge for East Brunswick.
That's a big, big mistake play as Miller drops the ball. Does pick it up again, but a loss of about 4 yards on the play. Takes it from a 3rd and 2, or 2nd and 2, to now a 3rd and 6. Clock will run, ball's in play.
I have one word, why, right there. Why even mess around and just give the ball to the fullback on the dive? Why even fake the dive, and then, you just have a chance of messing around with the ball there. So break for East Brunswick here. Let's see if they can stop him.
3rd down, long 5. Handoff. Piedon stopped after a gain of about 2. Minute 40 left to go. 4th down. No timeouts for the Bears, none. Clock will run, 4th down.
I think you might see J.P. Stevens just run it down and take the delay game and then punt it.
Again, we've had an adventure here. The Stevens punting team has not been the solid special teams component here. That is the penalty there for the delay.
Like you said, with this punting, who knows? He could kick it 10 yards here, and East Brunswick could be in business with some decent field position.
Okay, and if you're Coach Marcus Borden, who do you turn to kick that long field goal that you might need? Who's got the leg from 40 and out?
Brian Robinson here has to do a good job of trying to field the ball in the air here and not letting it.
East Brunswick coming full out. Ball will bounce. Robinson will pick it up on the bounce. Tries to break through a couple of tacklers, but cannot, and the ball is down at the 20-yard line.
No, it's easy from up here, but once he sees that ball, he's got to run after that ball and try to pick it up as early as he can to get as much positive yardage as he can.
Again, he's got to also be aware of how far this
right, he was pretty deep.
Yeah, he was a little too deep, and he's been deep on all those. I guess you don't want the ball sailing over your head, but Adam Lewis has not had a good punt. That was probably his best punt, and he got 10 yards of it on a roll.
Good point.
Bears are out of timeouts. They need to get at least to the 15, 20-yard line. Need to get 60 yards here quickly. Robinson was open down the middle again, had broken past Chupka, but the pass, as Matt Mariano was under a rush, is incomplete.
I'm telling you, I see the J.P. Stevens coach out couple of yards on the field, he's going to number 42, Mike Chupka. How can you get beat long? That's the one thing that cannot happen. So he just had a little talking to right there. And
well, if they're not going to play the kind of prevent defense here, try it one more time.
right.
Trips right. That's Schultz, along with Will Stoffers. And trapped behind the line of scrimmage is Matt Mariano. Clock is running, 39 seconds left. Can't really even spike the ball here because you're wasting it down.
Right.
It's third down now and 13. Third down and 13. Again, trips right. Time wasting.
Yeah, gotta go
Mariano
here.
undershot, now in shotgun formation.
Oh, baby. I'll tell you what. Whew.
And well, Fessel wasn't looking for it, but it could have just ended up in his lap.
I'll tell you what.
If True Blood doesn't make a hands play there and knock it out. Woo.
Very surprised that they're even able to get behind these J.P. Stevens defenders here. This is it here, fourth down.
Well, the first down, you got to get the first down. Clock will stop with the markers, the chains moving.
Right.
Then a quick grounding, and then maybe one more play. Again, trips right. In the middle of the pass, right at the feet of Robinson, incomplete. And the Bears will surrender the ball on downs with 13 seconds left to go. Again, Mariano under a rush, threw it where a receiver could be, but it did not look like the East Brunswick receivers were looking for the ball. And that one fell at Robinson's feet. Incomplete.
It looks like it's happened a couple times where the balls have been in the air and the East Brunswick receivers for some reason haven't seen the ball or looking for the ball.
No timeouts, so all this is just the formality here, unless you have a Joe Pizarczyk play.
As the crowd starts to file out here, Jay Doyle Field.
Yes, illegal substitution, I think. 12 men on the huddle. Yeah, it's illegal participation. Again, no big deal here. All they have to do is protect, and Tamar Robinson is in deep safety formation here, covering Miller. All he has to do is get the snap and take the knee, and the clock will wind down. Tough loss as the clock will wind down, and the final score here, J.P. Stevens 7, East Brunswick 6. Well, what do you take from this game if you're Coach Borden?
I'll tell you what, East Brunswick fought hard. I mean, it looked pretty good from the start, going up 6-0, and the mixed extra point came back to haunt them. They had some opportunities on ill-timed holding penalty on a touchdown. They just seemed to be a couple plays away. They had a couple opportunities, and J.P. Stevens played tough. Both defenses, I thought, did a nice job. I think you can take a lot of positives. Obviously, you're on the losing end, and you go to 1-2 and have a tough game against Sayreville next week. But I saw some good things. But in the end, East Brunswick just wasn't able to do enough to win the game.
And your next home game here at J. Doyle Field will be in 2 weeks and a day. It'll be October 10th here against Woodbridge. That'll be your next home game at J. Doyle. Next week at Sayreville. 7-6 our scores. J.P. Stevens comes out with the victory. For Richie Whalen, I'm Ken Saroka. We'll have a good night. We'll see you back here again, EBTV, for East Brunswick High School Sports.